Hello!
Welcome to Coaching Think Tank.
TikTok pala,
Ayan.
TikTok. Oh, TikTok. We are the couple coach. I am Coach Shaun.
And I am Coach Teen, and we are from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Partnerlift. This coaching conversation is for couples who are wanting to strengthen their relationship.
Yes, and our mission is to help 1 million families stay connected spiritually and emotionally so that they can create a faithful, hopeful, loving, and mentally fit household.
Yes, and Partnerlift is where we talk about anything and everything about your relationship with God, with your children, your parents, and other people in your life.
Yes, and thank you very much for joining us on our live today. And please leave your digital footprint. Don't leave, just leave your digital footprint in there by letting us know where you are coming from today. Please do tag your friend and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in need of what we will be sharing for you for this session.
Yes, and you may also give a shout out. So hello, shout out muna tayo. Hello, Coach Lynn and Master Coach Adet. Thank you so much for joining. We also have Coach Candy, Coach Gracie, of course. So let's tag the others to join us this morning. I know they will learn a lot from us, and the shout out so you can greet also the people you wanna give the shout out to and reach out with some inspiring message. So if you are watching this on a replay, please do comment #replay. And we are also streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. So if you are new to our platform, please like, follow, and subscribe.
Yes, and if this is the first time you're joining us, if this is the first time you're watching us and our beautiful faces, we are of course couples. We've been married for 19 years.
Diba couple lang? Kasi
Oo
pag
nga pala,
couples,
pag S
di dalawa
pala,
yun.
dalawa yun. Couples, ayun, couple, we are couple.
Yeah, pag couple kasi dalawa na yun, ano ba ang gulahan
Ang dami natin. Ayan, we've been married for 19 years. We started our journey early. I started being a parent when I was 19. We are 19 years married and our daughter is 19 years old. So for those of you who wants to make taya, you can utilize the number to make taya. Ayan.
No, we don't promote taya here.
Just kidding. For those of you joining us, thank you very much for watching. It's early morning and it's a wonderful day today. It's such a blessing for us to be spending time with you. Grab your parents out there kung nagkakape ang yung mga parents out there or your loved one in there, your partner. Grab them. Tell them, hey, let's watch here. Let's enjoy this moment with the couple coach and learn something today. And we're gonna talk about when faith matters. Why do faith matters, Coach Tim?
Well, when you come into the relationship, remember that you might have different beliefs, or technically you might be having a different concept of spirituality or religion. And di ba, most often it's an issue between couples. Sino ba kasi yung masusunod sa relasyon? Sino yung lilipat? Sino ba dapat sino yung pupunta sa dapat na religion or something. So in our case, it was also a journey in faith. Me, I was born a Catholic, so sagradong Katoliko, and I remember my parents, my stepmom telling me that if you marry him, I hope you stick to your faith.
Yeah.
So nagmark sa akin yun. And also, I haven't yet found something that would really make me live my faith. But what I hold on to is, I believe in God. I pray. I should be really, parang I am anchored to someone, to the Creator, to the Savior. So yun. Sa atin kasi, di ba, ang concept natin, iniisip na nila, dapat ba parehas kayo ng religion? I mean, for me, it doesn't matter. Diba? Kasi...
Pero I have that mindset too when we were growing up. Ako po ay hindi Katoliko when I was starting. While my parents got married in a Catholic church, so they're Catholic, but my mom converted and my father converted into a Christian. When I was still young, when I was that high, well, mas mababa pala doon, I was still a little boy. And I was a Christian before, but eventually when yung church namin it started to, parang hindi na ata ako nakakapag-connect when I was growing up. I started to identify kung ano ba talaga yung gusto kong gawin. So, Christian, yun talaga. Coach Tin, if I remember back then when we got married when I was still so young, yun po yun. Sumasama siya sa church and she was going through our church as well and being respectful about it. I think that's a beautiful thing about although yung mindset mo na dapat parehas kayo ng religion. Yan, religion.
Ano kasi siya eh, it's really more of the standard of people.
Yeah.
Na the marriage will not work if you are not in the same faith or if kasi kinonect natin si faith sa specific religion.
Yeah, true.
Although I grew up in a Catholic church, I embrace everyone. Yung parang, even if you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, it doesn't matter to me. Kasi nga, ang belief ko naman doon, ako lang naman talaga yun is, your faith is not confined by what religion you belong to.
Yeah, true.
So, when we got married, people would sometimes ask us, paano kayo nagsisimba? Parang kami, ha? It's not an issue between us. And
True.
also, hindi din siya yung dapat ba, kasi yung, lalo na sa Catholic, no offense meant, I am still a Catholic. Pero, di ba pag sinasabi na, hindi ka kasi nagsisimba. So, parang pag hindi ka nagsisimba, hindi ka nagpupunta sa church, you don't have faith. So, ganun siya tinitingnan. So, I grew up na, ganun ba talaga yung teaching na something. So, when we were in our relationship, when we were already together, hindi talaga siya naging sa amin. Hindi namin siya pinag-usapan. And we also came to a point na hindi siya dapat eto ka ha, religion ko to, so dito ka, or religion ko yan, dito ka din. And the good thing about this is my parents-in-law are very open as well.
Yeah.
They would invite me to their Christian church and I would often attend. And Shaun would also go to the Catholic church, and it doesn't matter. Parang walang nagpilit na
walang ganong issue.
Dapat palipatin mo siya sa ganito.
Dapat pilitin mo siya na lumipat dito. Wala kami mga ganong conversation. And I think that's a beautiful thing about it. My mom, I love my mom. She guide me well on how to see things in perspective and not how to, force people to do some things na hindi naman nila gusto. And we've been blessed to be able to be given the freedom to make the choice. I remember nga yung back then, yung sabi nga ni Coach Tin na nag-church siya sa Christian church namin. Then I do go to church as well sa Catholic. Pero hindi ako yung tipong nagsusunod pa doon sa mga, ano bang tawag doon? Yung mga kailangan mong sundin na magluluhod, tatayo, uupo, may mga ganyan. Wala ako mga ganyan. So I just attend because out of respect. And yung story namin is when we were journeying toward our spirituality and our faith. Actually, yung pinanganak yung mga bata, we talked about paano ba, how do we want to move forward with the children in their religion specifically. And hindi naging struggle sa akin yun eh. Like, I whenever struggled na, dapat Christian, dapat Catholic, I think it's more of really agreeing to what would make sense for the children to be successful and to be more connected. So, wala kaming conversation na yun. Nag-a-attend kami ng mga ganun. And, in fact, nung nag-start kaming really have that connection, doon kami nag-journey and trying to find out, because I always say this, I'm not a person who prays. I don't pray, I don't read the Bible, I don't know much about the Bible. It's not something that I'm really attuned for. Alam ko lang na nabuhay ako dito sa mundong to para yumaman at madumami ang pera. Ayan, yan yung pinalaki sa akin. Find a good school, find a good work, get promoted, have a house, have a car, do whatever it takes for you to have a lot of money, then just enjoy life. Ganun siya.
Yeah. So, hello, Master Coach Jasmine, Lady Jen, Coach Nords, thank you so much, Coach Mau, Coach Rizel, and of course, Leonard, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So, sabi nga ni Master Coach A, may tanong siya kanina, is faith equals religious group? Which is, hindi talaga eh. Yung concept, yung tao lang talaga yung nagbigay ng standard na dapat, pag may faith ka, may church ka. Although I grew up in a Catholic faith, and ano din ako eh, kumbento ba? Hindi kumbento ba? But more of, yung school ko is run by nuns. So,
nuns, yeah.
Of course, we are very close. We are very attached to a Catholic church. So, meron kaming concept na doon kami, na we have to, parang may prayer time, pagpasok sa school, prayer, pag start ng klase, prayer. Yes, I grew up like that. Pero, as I was journeying in my faith, hindi talaga. May times na hindi ako nagsisimba, pero may guilt kasi yun yung concept na binigay sa atin ng parents ko na dapat nagsisimba ka, or ng ibang tao din, dapat you belong to a church, na dapat every Sunday you go to church. Sabi ko, di ba, what's important is you pray to God and you accept God, you acknowledge God. So medyo may part akong ganon, which is sinasabi nila, rebelde ako pagdating sa ganon. So, when we got married, naisip ko, magiging issue ba talaga yung faith namin with that we have opposing faith. Yes, we both believe in God. Although hindi siya ganun ka-prayerful, ako I pray naman. Pero hindi din ganun ka-deep yung I have faith, I believe. Pero hindi ganun ka-deep yung relationship ko pa with Him.
Yep. Ako din naman yung tipong Kristiyano nun, growing up, na okay, mag-a-attend kasi syempre sasamahan mo yung nanay mo, 'di ba? Pupunta ka doon, tapos kailangan, 'di ba, you have this mindset na you need to go to church every Sunday. So sabi ko, okay, sige, let's go there. Pero pag andun naman ako, ang ginagawa ko, nakikipaglaro lang ako sa mga kung sino-sino doon, or andun ako sa kung saan-saan ang katambay, hindi na nakikinig. So those are the things that, you know, you tend to reflect on yung faith na ini-instill sa'yo. And as I've said, my mom has done well on making sure that we as yung magkakapatid, we're able to be mindful of doing good and doing bad. Pero as we journeyed along, when we got married, nagpakasal kami muna sa huwes kasi hindi pa nga kami pwede magpakasal sa church or any church at all. Because we haven't really decided on if it's gonna be a Christian wedding or a Catholic wedding. And mahaba yung journey natin, no? We started to go through that. I attended church ng Catholic. I stopped going to the Christian church namin. I just didn't feel that it wasn't for me. Alam mo yun yung feeling na, is this really for you? Is this something that would satisfy or fill the need of you in spirituality? But I'm not saying that our church is bad. No, I totally respect yung church namin. Pastor Joe, kung nanonood ka, our pastor before, and he's even still our pastor now, has been super supportive. And Ninong, actually Ninong natin sa kasal yun, di ba? Ninong namin sa kasal. And is very supportive with it, and how he's guiding us and how he guided me during those times, and even both of us. And hindi siya yung tipong pastor na, alam mo, may i-instill sa'yo kung anong kailangan mong gawin and so on. He will just give you his wisdom and yung binibigay sa kanya ng Panginoon. And that, for me, has instilled in me of what a picture of a pastor would look like. And it's a wonderful picture. Even today, as I connect with him, as I talk to him at times, he still gives me at wisdom. Pag konti-konti pumapasok kami. So, a wonderful experience for me. And as we journeyed along, dun talaga yung, ako kasi talaga ako yung may kulang in me. I felt that I was the one not really being able to connect with religion specifically, but on a spiritual perspective, on having that connection and trying to understand ano ba talaga yung gusto ko, where am I right now, and that somewhat causes confusion on what I needed to do because I was too attuned with what, you know, this world is as a measurement of success is all about. Madaming kalokohan at pwede ba sabihin to, parang PG-13 at ito, basta yun na yun, yung mga times na yun na now if I think about it, I kind of regret, but I'm thankful because pinagdaanan ko siya. And as we progress, hindi ako pinipilit kasi nito magpa-convert eh. Sabi nga sa akin ni Coach Tin noon, if you're ready, if you feel that you're ready to convert to a Catholic, then you do so. And ano nang nangyari sa atin nung Coach Tin?
Basahin ko lang muna. Sabi ni Master Coach A, more than the religious declaration, it's a question of who is the God you are believing. Yep, and we agree with Master Coach. Kasi it's really not about ano ba talaga yung church mo, saan ka ba. It's really more of the faith that you have. And yung God that you believe in is, kasi yung the God that we know is a God of a God who is a loving God, a God who is you know why we are talking about this, kasi sasabihin nyo partnerlift, so bakit kailangan pag-usapan si God? Because you cannot lift your partner if you are not anchored to a faith.
Yeah.
If you are not anchored to God. Si God, um, wala atang relasyon na magiging matibay, wala atang relasyon na magiging maayos kung both of you does not really have that faith in God. Kasi doon mag-a-anchor eh. Dahil anything that happens in the relationship, the struggles, lalo na kung may mga, like, we went through a lot. Dumating din kami sa point that there was a third party in the relationship.
Yeah, fidelity.
And if not for that faith, if we were not able to hold on to that faith, I don't know if we will still be together.
Oo, kasi grabe yung ano na yan eh. Fast forward today, yung nakita ko yung image ng Panginoon on how God is, how God really is, and how He looks like. Yung mo na-realize na yung mga pinagagawa kong kalokohan before is something that I shouldn't have done in the first place. You have this guilt, you have this feeling na bakit ko nga ba ginawa yun? Those are the things. And eventually, na-realize mo na how having God-centered, a God-centered family really is such a powerful thing in which kung na-realize mo as a father, for those who a father out there who's watching, na-realize mo na yung grace ng Panginoong binibigay sa'yo, na lahat ng kailangan mong gawin sa buhay ay dapat nasa tungkulin ng binibigay ng Panginoon. Iba-iba yung experience eh. You won't get to be on a stage that you're wandering from places to places, and this is what I teach. Wandering from places to places, relationship to relationship, careers and careers, and what have you, na clear sa'yo. And that started when I received in my heart na magpa-convert into Catholic. Kailan ba ako nagpa-convert?
You were in another company before. I think you were with Stellar. Yung journey kasi yun is he attended like a seminar.
Nag-seminar ba?
Sa office.
Ayaw nga pala, may seminar nun. Ano ba seminar nun? May isang pare atang nag-talk doon eh.
And
nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan yung pare.
And my question for him was, when he asked me to, I want to convert in the Catholic faith. Sabi ko, are you sure? Is it really what you want? Is it really what God is telling you?
Yeah.
Yun yung tanong ko sa kanya. Kasi, kung akong ordinarily, I would have said, yes, ito na yun. Kasi, dapat Catholic tayo. Wala taga akong ganyan. I was really not more. Kasi ako din naman, although I'm a Catholic, pero hindi talaga ako yung Catholic na the usual,
sarado.
Oo, yung talagang very, hindi ko siya mahanap yung tamang term eh. But, I do pray, and I really hold on to my faith. I know kung ano man sabihin ng ibang tao, but for me, I know my faith, and I know who the God I am believing to. So, parang ganun yung naging journey namin. So, yun lang yung tanong ko sa kanya when he decided to say na I wanna convert. So, dumaan din siya sa process nun.
Oh, tagal nun. But that was a wonderful experience in which, yun nga, na-attendan ko lang yung isang talk ng pare na yun. And that priest, super, hindi ko na maalala yung pangalan niya, but he changed me in ways that I couldn't even fathom or understand. Pero ang ganda nung journey na yun. And I decided to get converted, going through the process. Hindi pala madali magpa-convert into a Catholic religion. No? Kakaibang experience yun. But it was worth the journey. It was worth the way in which na, for me, anyway, and I'm not saying that, of course, you have different religions naman there. But for me, it's more of an affirmation na yung hinahanap kong Panginoon, na yung hinahanap kong God na for me, that I felt that naririnig yung needs ko. Alam mo yun, may mga ganun. Hindi ko siya ma-articulate properly na. I hope you're able to kind of get the gist of what I'm saying na andun eh. Yun yung transformation. And eventually, when I got converted, and that's where we started to find na yung magandang church or specific church specifically that could help us.
It's not really more about the church. We were looking for something. A community where we will grow spiritually. Yung tagang hinahanap namin. I attend church, I go to mass, pero for me, it's not really enough. May hinahanap pa din ako eh. So, that's where we started journeying. And we found the feast at Ortigas. But still, it does not confine us na dapat Catholic lang. I still listen to Christian pastors.
Yeah.
I listen to Joel Austin. I follow Joel Austin. May isa pa akong fina-follow na pastor na from a Christian church. Kasi nga talaga, para sa amin, it's really more of how we can deepen, like si Joyce Meyer.
Oh, yeah.
What we do is we really deepen the relationship because for us, we are not really confined about the specific religion. Kasi for us, it's more than the religion. It's really the
Ah.
faith that we are looking into.
And that one is really yung biggest transformation is being in alignment to what God really is. I think yun yung journey namin. Putting aside muna yung religion, really the faith in it and trying to find out na sino ba talaga si God? Anong itsura ni God? If you take a look at God in an image of a person, what does he look like? What does it do? Paano siya nagsiserve? Paano siya nakikipag-usap? And those are the things that we journeyed along, and there's just a lot of different things that we've experienced. Only to come into a stage in which nakita namin yung value on how the conversations needs to happen and how we need to be connected with God. Ganun siya ka strong ganun ka strong yung foundation, and that's why we're starting with episode 1 on faith, because the faith that you have would really allow you to stay true kung ano yung pinapagawa ng Panginoon. We believe that if you want to get wisdom and knowledge, you go to the Bible. The Bible really gives you all of the wisdom and knowledge and nuggets that you need. I tell you, when I fully understand the Bible, and kudos to Master Coach A for guiding us towards that. Ang sarap ng feeling. Alam mo, ang sarap ng feeling na nagagawa mo yung, or naiintindihan mo, not in the complex word, because sometimes, there's a lot of jargons being used by other people. I don't want to mention names. Madaming jargons na hindi ko maintindihan. Nagno-nosebleed ako at times. And I ask myself, ganito ba magturo si Lord, si Jesus Christ? Ganun ba magturo na madaming, highfalutin words that you cannot really understand? And the way that Master Coach A was, teaching it to us is very, very simple. And dun ko nakita yung, if you reflect on the verses, madali lang naman siyang intindihin eh. Yun nga yung sabi ko nga, ang pinaka-challenging is the corporate world, for me anyway, taught me that complexity or being complex or analytical is something that shows intelligence. Pero na-realize ko na hindi siya pwedeng gamitin at this stage right now eh. Because if you're gonna utilize this, how you're gonna teach your children? They're gonna be always intimidated with you of the words that you use. At times, yung vocabulary nila, sobrang ikli na lang. And yun yung times na when we were finding for a community, we found Decap Copy Republic. And Decap Copy Republic with Master Coach A in there, Coach Rizal, Coach Rog, Coach Phoebe, Coach Mau, and the rest of the life coaches in there. Doon namin nakita yung space na ano dapat ang space pag faith, if you're gonna talk about faith. And they have, allowed us to see what faith is all about. Not in words. At times people would say a lot of different things. So, dapat ganito, but you see them in action, they're not really doing it. They're not allowing themselves to really show kung ano siya. How does it look like? And these are the things that we need to take a look at. And we discovered yung spiritual connection namin. And that's what we wanted to share to you. That is the most important journey that we have in a nutshell on how faith is so important in marriage. Kasi yun yung kulang din sa akin. And my faith in God allowed me to go astray and do not so great things with my marriage, with my relationship with her, to have another relationship with a woman, and sobrang gulo, ang gulong-gulo ng buhay ko. And when I found life coaching, when I realized that how life coaching has, changed the way I see things, yung renewing of the mind, and that's in the Bible as well. The beginning of wisdom is the renewing of the mind, and life coaching has helped us with that in that journey. And sabi nga ni Master Coach Shay, naalala ko, turuan lang yung tao mag-pray, malaking bagay na eh. And doon ako nag-start. I'm not a prayerful guy. I'm not the one who really prays a lot. Pero nung naturuan ako mag-pray, ang ganda ng feeling. Sobrang ganda. Ikaw, Coach Tim.
So, for us, yung journey talaga is really more of discovering the relationship that we can have with God. Kasi when we talk about Partnerlift, sabi ko nga, you will only be able to lift up your partner if you have something that you can anchor to. And that something is faith. Because whatever happens, whatever the situation is, whatever the struggle is, when you are anchored to your faith, you can easily lift your partner. So we will share with, so we have shared with you our journey. So we will share with you what we have learned, and what we can share to you is pray.
Yep, and yun, we're gonna give you an acronym for pray. Kaya sinabi ko pray kanina kasi yun talaga yung biggest win for me. Sobrang big win yun on the journey towards, being someone who's not faithful to someone who's so faithful, and understand what the message is and what God is asking us to do. And pray, yun lang ang kailangan yung sundan, and kailangan nyo i-practice with your marriage, with your relationship as a couple. Even as an individual, you can start utilizing this in your practice every day. So pray. Yung P is
that will be your patience. So practice this every moment. Remove any expectations from your life and only expect that you will give your best to your relationship. Patience talaga yun sa relationship eh. Sa journey namin, walang pilitan. What we do is we lay everything out. Ito yung ito yung point of view ko, ito yung point of view. Now, decide whether you want it. You wanna go for it. So siya yung magdedesisyon. I think that helped us a lot. Our relationship is not perfect. Even today, kahit we have a deep relationship with God, even if we are life coaches, we're still human. So we still have those, at times, we still have those struggles. Nagkakasagutan pa din kami. Sagutan in a way na may disagreement kami, may argument. And I think it's always a part of the relationship, because when there is no more argument, hindi naman kasi masama talaga na you argue. Kasi it's about putting your trust to be able to speak the truth of what's happening and the acknowledgement. So patience will help, kasi pag hindi ka patient sa relationship, whatever he says, madali kang mag-explode, you will be triggered. And that's where how life coaching has helped me, lalo na sa akin. Because I am one person who has been always who has not really felt the love in the family. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. So rejection for me is a very big thing. So most often the argument that we have is more of the rejection that I feel, especially if I am not acknowledged or affirmed, but the patience to really take one step at a time, to really pause, and then look at it at a different perspective, allowed me to be able to keep or strengthen the relationship. And of course, with that faith as well, to whom I am anchored to.
Yeah. And for the boys out there, patience is really a virtue. So if you're patient with yourself and patient with your spouse, things will go very well, I tell you. It will take some time, but I think that's a beautiful thing about it. Sabi ko nga, may grace ang Panginoon. Yan, may grace ang Panginoon, at yun yung maganda. So patience, kailangan natin lahat yan. Especially for the men out there. Kailangan natin ng patience. Number 2, yung R, which is in pray, is responsibility. Yan. Be responsible with the words and the behaviors that you do. Ayan. Let's take accountability to it. At times, we get to speak things or say words or do things that we regret afterwards. Ayan, tinuturo ko po ito sa anger management. And you know that words kill, or words can beat life to someone. And if you really want to be in a space where you are engaging your spouse, you're engaging your partner, be responsible of what you speak to them. Be intentional nga. Be intentional on the kind of the result and the kind of experiences you want for yourself and for your spouse. Kasi kung hindi ka intentional doon, at times feeling mo binibwisit ka ng asawa mo, hindi ka naman binibwisit actually. Ganun lang talaga sila magsalita. And if you come into a space of understanding and you come into a space of being responsible towards responding to the person, mas maganda yung relationship. Mas maganda yung flow, you get to have that deeper connections, get to be in a space na hindi ka na-trigger, hindi ka nabubwisit, kasi alam mo siya na ganun siya. And if you're able to be, to do that, I tell you, ang laking bagay yan when you are responsible for your words and for your actions. Don't blame your spouse na kasi si ikaw. No, utilize I think, no, this is you. Because when you're able to do that, mas maganda yung conversation. It's not perfect, I tell you. Sabi nga ni Coach Ting kanina, sa patience na yan, mahaba-habang journey yan. But it's a wonderful thing when you're able to practice. You practice every day on being responsible to who you are and what, you stand for.
Yeah. So responsibility is really being able to acknowledge the I. Kasi most often when we talk about responsibility, ang nakikita natin, responsibility nung partner.
Yeah.
Yung opposite. That we forget that we are all, that for responsibility as well to start is, you have to start it with I. Ikaw muna, inward. So, ano ba yung tingin mo dun sa responsibility mo dun sa relationship? So, with the patience comes the responsibility. Responsible to be able to really respond properly to your partner. And yes, A is for acceptance. Accept that both of you are not perfect. You have your flaws, you have your triggers. Accept that it's an opportunity for you to grow. You must grow as individuals and come together overflowing with love. Sabi nga, dapat daw when you enter in the relationship, you are both complete. Kaya mali daw yung sinasabi natin na you complete me. Or you come into the relationship para maging 100%. So, ibig sabihin, 50%, 50%. No, it's not. You have to be able to come as a whole. So, you have to have your 100% and his 100% for you to have the 200% in the relationship.
Oh, kasi dapat overflowing siya eh. You need to overflow so you can give. You can't give what you don't have. That's what Master Coach has always been teaching us ever since. You cannot give what you don't have. So, if you want to give something to your spouse, your children, to your family, your parents, it needs to overflow with you first. It need not to come from someone. Kasi, paano pag wala na yung taong yun, o di wala ka na, hindi ka na kompleto, o di ba? Parang ang sad naman yun. So, you need to be complete 100%. And for you to be able to journey with that, ayun, sundan mo tong pray na to, na binibigay namin sa'yo. And lastly, the biggest thing, ito, yung kailangan natin sa lahat, is for you to know your why. Yan, your why. Your why creates the compass for your relationship. Minsan pinag-uusapan nga namin to sa one of the classes in Master Coach, talking about your relationship goals. Like, what is your goal for your relationship? Like, in your marriage, ano ba yung gusto mong ma-achieve sa marriage nyo? Because I'm sure that when you decided to find a partner, gusto mo mag-grow. Ayaw mo naman maging stagnant lang, di ba? Na walang nangyayaring growth sa mga ganyan. And that is something that, when we journeyed along, realized namin, because I'm also in a family na parents na, broken family kami. Nagsama kaming dalawa to be in that space. And yun yung nilalaban namin na generational curses na to help ourselves and also families to stay connected, connect disconnected families. Because when you're able to do that, when you're able to have a deeper understanding of our why and why we come together, why we work on each other, why do we understand each other, even though at times parang nakakainis, parang gusto mong kurutin at tiris-tirisin ang iyong asawa, mga ganung bagay. Pero naiintindihan mo kasi, you know it in your heart na you're fighting for something much bigger. Na at the end of the day, kahit nandun ka na sa point na parang gusto mo man give up, you would go back to your why. And your why is your compass. Your why is your true north. Your why is where you will go to, you will head to. Moving towards rather than avoiding something. Minsan kasi, ang goal natin is we're avoiding ourselves towards a pain, suffering, and so on. But we need to move towards that because pain and suffering are the ones that's most beautiful gift that we can see. That's something that would put us in a space of empathy and compassion. And the reason why not a lot of people are not able to connect with others to be empathic and compassionate is because hindi nila ina-accept yung pain and suffering nila. And if you take a look at yung journey ni Jesus Christ, ganun naman siya eh. Yung passion ng Panginoon is the reason why we understand each other. And yun nga, nakipagsama ka sa isang taong hindi mo naman kilala, di ba Coach Tin? Iniintindi mo at minamahal mo, and ang pagmamahal is action. It's not an emotion. It's not a feeling. It's an action that you would do whatever it takes for you to grow as an individual, to help each other grow, and to help the marriage, be better and to be strengthened.
Yep, so pray, have the patience in the relationship, know your responsibility, accept the flaws with each other, and know your why in the relationship. Hindi naman kasi taga kayo pumasok sa relasyon para sa ganit sa isang para maging mag-asawa lang. There has to be an end in that journey.
All right. So that has been our journey for our first episode. Nanahimik kayo. We hope you're able to get something out of what we shared. Pero one of the things that I would like for you to take away, for the last 30 minutes of our conversation is to pray. Yun lang talaga. Prayer works. Prayer works in faith. Prayer works. Now, whatever happens, God will be there for you. God will be there to hold hands with you. God will be there to push you towards the path that was created for you. You can plan every day, but God, gives you the way. God shows you the way. In His perfect timing, He will give you all of the things that you need. And in marriage, that's the same thing. But of course, dapat tuloy-tuloy yung growth nyo. Tuloy-tuloy yung progress nyo. You don't go na being in a space of stagnant na wala nang nangyayari. You need to still continue to invest with each other and grow as a couple. And investing doesn't mean lang na alam mo yon na nag-uusap kayo. No, it's also investing on your individuals, on your learnings and your skills and knowledge on how you can improve that. Yun ang kailangan natin gawin. So prayer works. It has a wonderful healing factor in there. And pag na-practice mo siya, na-master mo siya, I tell you, it's just a powerful thing.
Yep, so thank you so much everyone, and as we end this conversation, we are inviting you to be part of what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. Do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Maan for Coaching for Healthy Mind Space at 2 p.m. And of course, I will be back for Coaching for Relationship at 4 p.m.
Right, and we would also like to invite you to Master Coach A's Co-Active Co-Create Life Coaching Certification Program. This is going to be a 21-day learning journey with daily lessons, and this includes a 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A and 3 days live business bootcamp with senior coaches. Ayan, si Coach T na nag-lead dyan. 1 month free membership and Coach A coaching upskill blueprint. Well, you get the tools, you get trainings, you get all of the contents that you need for you to be able to practice your life coaching profession, and a website inclusion and professional credentials and certificates of completion with online footprint. O yan, hindi ka na mahihirapan sa mga ganyan. Makikita ka na agad in the digital space. The first batch is happening this coming April 10th, 17th, and 24th. So that's gonna be 3 days. So please connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 for assistance. So yan, so mga gusto, naka-enroll kami, Coach Day and I are enrolled in this program, and it's so far by far super, super enjoyable. Coach Day?
Yep, so thank you everyone. And of course, do not forget, we would like to invite you also, we will have a parenting or coaching workshop this April 9 at 4 p.m. That's a Friday. Connect with me. It's the Get Your Kids to Behave coaching session, of course, with a couple coach. So if you're someone who wants to turn your child's unlikely behavior around and you need help with that, then do join us. There's a registration fee of $2,999 for for one for a parent or 4,999 for couple. So that's gonna be a Zoom webinar. So just connect with me at 0917-806-4200.
Right, we hope you join us this Friday at 4 p.m. I'm still gonna be on at 12 noon later. So join me at Decap Coffee Republic naman. I'm gonna talk about
for the
parenting.
noontime kape, kapehan.
Kapehan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about parenting, and let's talk about how parents and how we can level up our parenting skills during this digital age, because it's changing, we are changing, and also we need to be adapt and be a better parent. So join us, and once again, we are go ahead.
Trevor, we are.
We are the couple coach. I am Coach Shaun.
And I am Coach Tindioya
from Life Coach Philippines
for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines.
Love bang boom! Love bang boom, everyone!
Love bang boom!
Bye-bye! Tumalabang boom.